And what advice would you give to any leaseholder that receives a bill now, ahead of the passage of the bill?
I would say that you can be confident that you won't need to pay more than the amounts that we've outlined, and that therefore, if your freeholder is demanding this sum from you, you should say, no, the government is going to legislate in order to ensure that you, the freeholder, or whoever else it might be, is responsible for paying.
Thank you.
Just in terms of the freeholder Secretary of State, how are you going to decide whether a freeholder can pay? We've had past evidence that some are actually fairly low capitalised companies who essentially live off the ground rents that they get. Now, how do you decide whether a company can actually make a contribution or not?
Well, ultimately, they decided to take on that freehold. They are seeking to pass on the cost to the leaseholders. If they are corporate institutions that have sought to do so thinking that they can make a profit from it, then there is a responsibility that they must bear and not seek to pass on to the leaseholder.
How do you decide whether they can pay, though?
Well, we'll do everything we can to ensure that they do, because that is their responsibility.
And how do they show they can't? I mean, some might simply say, we haven't got that resource.
Well, I'm sure a lot will say that, but then it's our job to make sure that they can't hide behind professions of poverty. It's not the case that it is the case that there are people who are being asked to pay huge sums as individuals who simply cannot afford them. My view is that if you're the sort of individual or institution who owns a freehold for a block of flats, you're unlikely to be indigent or in need of government support.
Okay, it might be an interesting issue that's going to come up.